moving on with before we move on with the regular agenda items, as we had briefly discussed, item 15, if Madam Clerk, you would read that, please.
Item number 15, R-23-10-209, is resolution approving a purchase and sale agreement with Brenda P. Horn and Douglas A. Horn for approximately 41 acres of real property located in Farragut at a cost of $4,892,500.
Thank you. And as a discussion item, is there someone from the schools that could step forward for just a moment, please? Would you state your name and residence?
Garfield Adams, Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Thank
Madam
you,
Chair, County Commissioners, good evening.
Yes, Mr. Adams, and I deeply apologize that I didn't give you a heads up on this. I think it will be relatively painless, but on that, I'll turn the floor to Commissioner Frazier, and then I have a comment also.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mr. Garfield, and also, I don't know if Mr. McPherson is here, but thank you all for your communication. First, I'm really glad that Knox County Schools is addressing the enrollment pressures in the Farragut schools. That's, for as long as I've lived here, there's been a discussion about overcapacity in the Farragut schools, so thank you all for addressing that. So, but on that note, I had a couple of questions, and just wanted to hear from you all. First, I wanted to ask, have there been any meetings that bring Knox County schools, Knox County, and even the town of Farragut to the table to discuss the project? If not, I would really like to see that happen, because it then leads to my next question. Having been one of those community advocates for a new school, I don't want us to have another Mill Creek scenario in that Knox County schools, you kind of went forward with the project, and Knox County government, we were kind of left holding the tab for a lot of multi-million-dollar road improvements. And so I really want to make sure that those conversations are being had on the front end versus, and I know we're just in a preliminary phase, but I still think those discussions are important. So if you could just address that, and then I have a couple of more questions.
Certainly. Madam Chair, Commissioner Frazier. So first, I'd like to thank Commissioner Schoonmaker for all of his diligent hard work working directly with Knox County Schools, and also our board member, Ms. Horn. They've been very helpful in the process. We've had several meetings with Knox County government. We've worked with them hand in hand. I would also like to thank Chris Caldwell and Jim Snowden for all of their due diligence. We've also met with the town of Farragut on several occasions, and so they have been an active participant as we've been searching for land for the past, it seems like, well, it has been roughly 2 years. So they have been very involved in moving forward, and I don't know if you were alluding to the process, but moving forward, we will certainly involve the town of Farragut. We will certainly involve Knox County government. We will certainly involve the community, and our board what they will receive are several proposals in a presentation that they can make a sound decision once we get the input from community members, the schools themselves, and also the town of Farragut and Knox County government.
Do you know what type of school this will be, and what the enrollment numbers might be, and what enrollment numbers you hope to relieve from the Farragut schools? I mean, will it be an elementary school, middle school, high school? What are the discussions?
So there is no decision on what school this will be. This was, the sense of urgency was securing land. Currently, and I can share the numbers with you if you'd like, but currently we are at capacity. What we have found ourselves, in the situation we found ourselves in, is temporary capacity, which we like to call learning cottages. And so it's temporary, but we have been using that as permanent capacity. So the goal is to alleviate capacity and remove portables from the actual school sites and ensure that we have capacity for future growth. We do have projected numbers as well, but the current numbers as they stand, we are over capacity.
Overcapacity in elementary, middle, high school, all three?
When you come, because the intermediate and the middle school are in one school, we're at the point of overcapacity. So what we're looking at is, and that's because of the learning cottages. So what we're looking at is what do we need for capacity for the middle school, the elementary, and the primary as well.
Okay. I appreciate you all being proactive in trying to secure the land. I'm just curious as to, I feel like you have to have some sort of idea of the student grade population that you hope to serve or to relieve the pressure from the existing schools. Also, I had reached out to Mr. McPherson, and he gave me, you were at the very preliminary stage, but if you have any idea of what the operational budget will be for this school, that's something that I think would be very interesting to know on this side of things before really trudging forward, even if it's just kind of a ballpark. And then I did learn that the schools are paying for the property from bond proceeds. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then the location, this location really is just to reduce pressures from Farragut schools. Is that correct?
We looked at several different locations, roughly 24, I believe, different locations, and this was the most suitable site to build a school. However, it is in an ideal location for the town of Farragut.
You said you looked at how many?
Roughly 24.
24. Were those all just in Farragut, or were they in sort of the west-northwest area?
We looked at the west-northwest area as well.
Okay, because I remember when we were advocating for Hardin Valley Middle School and also the Gibbs Middle School that so much growth is extending west towards Watt Road, and at that time, those studies showed that the Watt Road area were really ideal. Has that location, that area been considered at all?
Yes, we certainly looked at that area as well.
Okay. Is it budgetary constraints as far as the amount of property or acreage that you need versus the allocation?
Suitable
For land.
land, suitable land.
Suitable, okay. Let's see. And then do you have any idea what the target enrollment would be for the new school?
It would depend on what school that would be,
Okay.
right? So if you could look at several different options. You could look at a mega elementary school for 2,500 students. You could look at an elementary school from anywhere from 1,200 to 1,600 students. You could look at a middle school that they currently have roughly 1,500 students. So you would have a middle school for either 1,600 to 1,800 students.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Certainly. Thank you.
Thank you, Garfield. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, hold on just a second. I'm sorry, Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let's see if it's working. Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Adams, I just wanted to echo your statement about my counterpart in the 5th District School Board member, Susan Horn, because she really needs to be acknowledged for the time and effort that she put in behind the scenes to secure this property for Knox County Schools and to get it at a discount as well. She worked extremely hard, and she's been a great asset to the community on the Knox County School Board. So I just wanted to make sure she got the lion's share of the credit on that.
Thank you. Thank you again. Appreciate the update very much. Thank
Certainly.
you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, Madam Clerk, I believe we are ready to move on with the agenda.